Great question from Adam Payne on the Facebook page. What would I do differently if I were in high school today, knowing what I know now? Well, first, let me start by saying I did 3 sports in high school, and I would have kept doing that because I think it's really important for young athletes to experiment and experience as many different sports as possible. It also helps break up the training and keeps you from going into overtraining or overtraining one particular movement. So I played football, wrestled, and did track. It was a great experience for me, but the net effect was that my training, my focus of training for track was a very short, usually in-season type program. I didn't know what that was back then, so that'd be the first thing. I'd actually implement a really well-designed in-season program. So in my opinion, if you're working with high school athletes, there are 5 movements that you need to have in every strength program. And I don't care if you're training boys or girls or what sport it is. You've got to have a squat pattern. You've got to have a hinge pattern. You've got to have a upper push, an upper pull, and some sort of core stabilization work. Now, you can decide whether or not you want to break those into upper lowers or some other sort of you want to segment them in any other way. I personally now like to do whole body workouts. And I just find that from at least from the way the science says, it keeps the body stimulated and reinforces the adaptations and forces those adaptations into a shorter cycle. So what I would recommend is a 3-day program: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, however you break it down based off your competition schedule. Basically, you have the same workout or the same movement patterns every single day, and the only thing that really would change would be the relative intensity or the volume, depending on when you're competing. Technically or throwing-wise, I would have preferred, if I were going back now, I would probably change the way I did my throwing workouts and break them down into shorter but more frequent throwing workouts. I used to do these 2-hour throwing workouts on top of my 2-hour lifting workouts, and I think by the time you throw 40 or 50 or 60 throws as a young athlete, you're pretty broken down. So what I would do now, what I would do differently now is I would go in probably 3 or 4 or 5 days a week and do my my warm-up for my throws, my dynamic warm-up, then start my throwing. Hit my full throws, hit 6 to 10 quality full throws, and then go into some drill work and do some event-specific drill work for whether it's the shot put, the discus, the hammer, or a jab, whichever one you're doing. But I would probably do my drill work there, reinforcing the technical cues or the technical things that we're working on. For me, those were always balance, separation, or torque, like I call it, in the block. And there's a number of great drills out there that you can do that can help with putting those all together. And the final thing is I would actually stress more mobility. I know this is something that gets forgotten about. I'm the worst at it, to be honest. Like, it's something that I always push off till the end. But the mobility work helps in so many. And this is not just flexibility. Mobility has an element of control over a range of motion as well. It just teaches you how it teaches young athletes better control of their body. That's basically it. Thanks for the question, Adam. I'm going to be answering questions every so often, so don't be afraid to ask them. That's what this is here for.